All right, guys. Again, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Really happy for our guys, especially those seniors, that they get to walk off that field last time as a winner. It was a hard-fought ball game going into it. I told them it was going to be a fist fight because of what UTEP does offensively. It's going to be a physical, tough game, and we've got to be tougher than them. And I'm really proud of the toughness that we played with, both mentally and physically. You know, there was a lot of highs and lows, a lot of ups and downs throughout that game, which there always are. And but I thought our guys did a really, really nice job of, never giving up, keep finding a way. You know, we gave up a punt return touchdown, kind of a low kick, a low kick, and, just didn't give us time to get down and cover, and, they scored. But then we got a special teams turnover ourselves when we kicked off that one time, got the fumble and got a field goal out of it. And then JB, Jordan's fake punt, we scored on that drive, so the special teams, we got really 10 points out of special teams to their 7, and then the pressure that we got on them on their extra point, I thought that was huge. The one they missed down there that would have made it 34-31. You look at it, now they're driving towards the end there and needing a field goal to send it to overtime. So I thought our effort was really, really good, on those teams. And then, defensively, we did some nice things. We got some fourth down stops. We turned them over. The disappointing part, we gave up, 2 long runs or touchdowns on screens. And then offensively, same thing. We did a lot of good things, got some explosive plays. The disappointing part was that, we fumbled on the first possession of the second half, and DJ Ryle scores a touchdown, and we get a holding penalty, and that we ended up kicking a field goal on. So did a lot of good things, but did some things, obviously, that got to get better at. But really proud of our guys and happy for them, and, get ready to go for Sam Houston tomorrow, get ready for them tomorrow and get ready to play next week.
Coach, the defense was able to get UTEP on fourth down there twice in the last couple of minutes, stopped them the second time to seal the game for you guys. How big is that for them to kind of make that play with their back against the wall?
Yeah, it was huge, and really if you get stopped on downs, if you get stopped on fourth down, that's like a turnover. So I thought the one was 4th and 1 with 7 or 8 minutes left. There, I thought that was huge. That was a great stop. That was really, really good. Defense did a nice job there. And then that last possession is what you're talking about, right, too, also. We had them 3rd and 30 and, playing zone, and they get one for 24 yards and made it 4th and 6. And, so made it a little bit closer than what you'd like. But the same thing, you keep making them snap it. If you make teams snap it, you got a chance. And but we had a lot of guys individually, defensively, that really showed up and did a nice job, and played good team defense as well.
Like you said, UTEP missed the extra point. Does that kind of take a little pressure off of the defense on that last drive, knowing that UTEP has to get into the end zone?
I don't know about pressure. I don't know if pressure is the right word, but it does change your thinking from what you're going to do schematically. Now they've got whatever it was, 40 more yards to go as opposed to 20 more yards to go. So it just changes the dynamic, they only have to get to the 30, they probably had to get a little bit closer than that because in the fourth quarter, they were kicking again into the wind. So, but to get to the 25 from wherever they ended up, the 40 somewhere in that range, I don't know where they snapped it from, but you got to get to the 25. It changes your thought process, and what you're calling defensively.
Coach, you mentioned the screen passes, but you really clamped down on those the last two drives. What was the difference there?
We got off blocks, Cecil. Their receivers coming out on our DBs, and we got off blocks. The other ones we didn't get off blocks. One time we went inside, tried to beat him inside, and he got outside of us. So you always got to keep everything in front and on the inside, and we let him get outside. So, but the big thing, Cecil, was we got off blocks there, late where – 2-3 yard gain, whatever it was in there, that one on our sideline. So I thought that was the reason, we did a better job.
Marve Myers made two really big plays in the fourth quarter, that interception, and then obviously the final pass breakup. Knowing what he's had to go through to just get back on the field, after his knee injury a couple of seasons ago. I mean, what can you say about him and his ability to stay prepared even while he's been, second team most of the year?
That's a good observation, Sam. Happy for Marve because he had an injury that the odds are against you of ever being able to come back and play. He worked extremely hard for 2 years rehabbing his knee, and that's how long it took. He didn't play for 2 years. Rehabbing his knee to put himself in a position to play. And then, the last 2 weeks, with the injuries to Jacoby Thomas and to Trey Fluellen, he's played a bunch of snaps and has really done a nice job. He did a nice job last week against FIU, and then, tonight. That was a big-time interception on our sideline, there. And then, like you guys said, he almost had another one there at the end. So just happy for him because when these guys – when you're the coach and you see what these guys have to go through, every day from a physical standpoint, and they still go out there and practice and they try to do the best they can, it's just gives you a sense of, I don't want to say pride. It gives you, you feel really good. I'm happy for Marve. I'm happy for Richard Kinley's out there, and he has, Quindarius Dunnigan he practiced yesterday for a few minutes. He got hurt last week. Richard Kinley's been Zaylen Wood. Those guys, they don't practice. Nick practiced twice this week. The last couple of weeks has only been one time because they're so beat up physically, but we don't ever use it as an excuse. And them suckers show up every day, and Marve did that for 2 years. And you think about having to go in that training room to get treatment for 2 years. Son, that'll wear on you now. It'd wear on me. So I'm happy for Marve. I really am, and all those guys.
Speaking of Nick, it seems like he's developed a bit of an eye for scrambling as the season's gone on and has found ways to get yards in situations where maybe in the past he would have thrown the ball away or held on to the ball. Is that something you think you can develop?
You talking about Nick?
Nick, yeah. Yeah,
and think about it now, Sam. Nick played 4 games, 5 games, whatever it was, in 21 towards the end. He didn't play any last year. We played a game and a half. Didn't play any last year. So now this is his first time. And you look at him, and I'm going to ask you a question. Do you think Nick is better today than he was game 3 or 4?
Absolutely.
I do too. And that's what, you basically had a rookie quarterback, going out there this year. And, we played 2 top 10 teams, Alabama and Missouri. And then, we got guys beat up in the middle. And, and I said it on the radio out there, and I'm not going to say it in here. But, yes, to answer your question, Nick has improved immensely this year. He's gotten more confidence throwing the ball. He's gotten more confidence running the ball. You know, and he almost had 100. Well, he had 100 yards but lost 10. You know, so ended up with 92 yards. So you think about you're having to defend a quarterback that gains 100 yards and also throws for 250. That puts an added stress on a defense, you know, that they got to defend. We weren't worried about UTEP's quarterback beating us with his feet, okay? So you take that out of the equation, you know. But they didn't. They couldn't say that, you know, so it just puts added pressure on your defense. So I know it's a long-winded question, Sam, but, yes, he has improved and he's gotten better each week, especially the last 3 or 4 weeks.
Holden, on your first touchdown, when did you recognize that you were matched up one-on-one with a linebacker?
I knew kind of in the alignment before the snap. I could see the man eyes looking outside. They had 2 over 2, no safety over top. So I kind of realized it was man-on-man, and it just kind of worked out like that as we got through the play.
And then on the second touchdown, it looked like they tried some press coverage on you. How were you able to fight off that and sort of box out the defensive back to get the ball?
Initially, he was already inside leverage, so it was a little tough because I knew I had an in-breaking route. So I had to, off the line, just get inside of him. And once I got inside of him, I just had to lean back on him to keep my space. That way I didn't close too much in the middle, and then broke on it and just played big. He couldn't really get through me, so able to make the catch and get in.
You know, 11 games now playing that sort of, you know, wide receiver H type position. How much more comfortable are you with some of those things now than you were, you know, compared to the start of the year?
Yeah. It wasn't too bad for me at the start of the year. I feel like just playing ball, just going out there and playing ball, not really worried about if I'm blocking in the core, if I'm out wide making plays, just going out there and just playing. I've always, as a receiver in high school and then playing receiver a lot at USF, it was always easier for me to just have fun blocking when I didn't have the ball, so it's kind of easy transition just to have fun, make plays when I don't have the ball in my hand.
When Nick runs like he did today, is that a fun day for you blocking when your quarterback can run like that?
I love that, especially when we got run plays and we're blocking front side. And then we look back and the run goes the other way and Nick's running loose for 20, 30, 40 yards. And Lyman chasing downfield. It's fun to see. Nick's a ball player. Ball's in his hand downfield. He's got good stats. He's going to make it work.
Holden, you guys were 4 for 4 in the red zone today. What made you guys so effective once you got down there that part of the field?
I'd say it's big on execution. It always starts up front. That's anywhere you go. But especially in the red zone, it's got to start with O-line. And it doesn't matter if it's a run or a pass. Because in the red zone, you have less time to throw it if it is a pass. So it's harder on the protection because they have less time. They got to protect big, and usually that's where you see a lot of blitzes and stunts from the defense and stuff like that. So it makes it harder on them. Starts there with them, and then just execution stuff that we work in practice. Every Thursday and Friday we work our red zone stuff, and we just come in, execute it, and do our job.
Holden, can you talk about how the connection with you and Nick has improved as the season's gone on and y'all gotten more comfortable with each other?
That's a lot on Nick as much as it is me. Me and Nick have a good relationship as far as communicating on and off the field, talking on the field during plays, after plays and stuff, and then coming off the field we'll talk about looks and stuff like that, what we see, what we think we'll do on certain plays if we come back to it. So we have a good connection, just able to talk. He sees the field good, I'm able to see the field good. We just kind of communicate it and we can be on the same page.
Devin, it seemed like the game was as physical as advertised, you know, from the press box. How did y'all handle the physicality UTEP had up front, you know, throughout the game on defense?
Well, first off, they're a really physical team. Like you said, it was advertised as a physical game. We came in knowing that this matchup would all be about physicality, and I think our front seven is as physical as anyone else in the country. We've been battle-tested before, especially, you know, early on in the season with physical games. Just thinking about recently, you know, New Mexico State, another physical team, or we didn't quite pull it out, but this game, we pulled it together. We're the more physical team in this game.
Despite what I think, you know, UTEP's offensive line holding up pretty well, y'all were able to get in the backfield for a lot of tackles for loss, particularly on designed runs. What were y'all seeing well as a defense to get in the backfield to make those plays?
It's a lot of preparation along with our keys and just how we prepared throughout the entire week and knowing tendencies and being ready when our number is called. That along with a great game plan by Coach Schaefer, Coach Royston, just all kind of came together.
The fumble luck was on y'all's side today. Y'all able to force a few more. What's that like for the defense when y'all can get the ball on the ground and get the ball back to the offense?
It's awesome, especially for a defense that prides itself on how many turnovers we can create. The past 2 seasons, not including this one, we were top 5 in the country in turnovers or something. So we really pride ourselves on turnovers, and we said throughout the season that they're going to bounce our way, and today we got fortunate enough and they bounced our way.
One game left in this season. Obviously, y'all want to finish strong. What's going to be key this week to stay focused and end the season, with a 3-game win streak on the way out?
I think this team will be focused. I think that we're a mature group. I think the love that we have for one another is also going to help bring us together for this one last game, because we love all the seniors that won't be with us next year. We're going to play for them and hopefully go out with a win.
Can you talk about the screen passes really hurt y'all earlier in the game? Last 2 drives, y'all seem to really contain those a lot better. Did you change anything up? Because it looked like you were still aggressive. But what changed on those screen passes?
Just kind of an awareness thing about it. We're an aggressive defense. Anyone that watches us can tell we like to bring pressure, and the way to slow that down, screen passes. So it kind of slowed us down for a second, and we just started making plays around the outside. The corner started coming up, making big hits, and same with the safeties. Linebackers started flowing to the ball a lot better. So I don't think it was really adjustment as much as a mindset thing to be prepared for.
Marve, you got the nod to start earlier this year when Trey had to miss the first half, but this is the first time you knew you'd be playing the whole game. Walk us through your preparation this week. How did you prepare, if you prepared any differently at all for this game?
First and foremost, I just want to say thank you to my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Only He truly knows what it took for me to be here and to do what I did today. But, it starts with being ready when your number isn't called. This whole year, I prided myself on not letting up on the practice, continue to practice like a starter, because you never know. It's unfortunate what happened to Trey, but one thing I promised him was that I wasn't going to be a drop-off for this defense, and I promised my coach that, and I told him that, I've been working in the dark, and eventually it would show, and tonight it showed.
You had the INT early in the first half, that was, taken away by the flag, but you were able to get a chance to get another one in the second half. Walk us through that play. What were you reading on that play that led you to be in a spot to make a play?
Well, so they gave us a look where it's compressed, and we were in cover 2. We had the option to either man it up or, go to cover 2. And in that choice right there, I felt like the best option was to go cover 2. And the whole week, our coach was telling us how, the quarterback, number 11, showed where he was going with the ball. So as I got to the hash, I just seen his shoulders pointed, and, the rest is history.
And then the final pass breakup to end the game. What was that moment like for you? It looks like, you might have been on an island there with number 4.
Yeah, it was just actually it just felt like an honor. In that moment, that's what a player dreams of, especially as DB, to be the person to, that the game is on. Being the defensive back, knowing that the game is on us, 4th down, it's on us to end the game. So I kind of took some pride on my chest when I seen them line up in that formation, and coach giving us a man call. The only thing running through my mind was the seniors, how much they put in work to be here, what this night meant to them. So, in that play right there, I was just thinking, I'm not going to be the reason that, we lose this game.
I know you came back last season from a pretty devastating knee injury that kept you out most of 2021. What's it been like for you to get the chances you've had this season and make an impact on play after you had that valley in your career?
It's really, man, my story is a story of faith. When I got injured, it didn't look well. They told me that I would never play a snap of football again. But I believe in a God that can do anything, and I kept my mind focused on Jesus throughout the whole process. And that injury, although it was devastating, it actually fixed my soul. And it built me to be able to withstand anything. So I'm not going to lie. I'm probably going to go home and cry tonight when when I'm one-on-one and just think about and reflect on everything I've been through, because that's devastating, and it's been a grind to just make my coaches trust me. All season I was telling them, look, man, I pride myself in winning. I pride myself in being a guy here. I know what I can be, but tonight was just a good self-milestone as long for the team to just know that I'm capable of doing the things I knew I could do.
Jordan, walk us through that 4th down conversion on the fake punt, from getting the play call and to what you read on the play. What happened?
Well, first of all, the play, we've been having to play for a minute now. I've been hoping we ran it one day, so the day was that we ran it, but just when we got out there, I knew I seen the look we wanted to run the play. So everything just set up perfect, and everything just went like it's supposed to went.
Was that the same play Ferg ran last year? And
Yeah, it was same play, yeah.
how much were you channeling, his running ability when you all got that play call in?
Really, I was looking at mine back from high school. I used to run the ball, so I was trying to score, but they didn't fight away. But it's all good.
It was senior day for you today. What was that moment like for you walking across the field and with your family and getting honored before the game?
It was very emotional, man. I've been here 6 years. I love everything about MTSU. I love Coach Stafford. Give me an opportunity to come here. It was very emotional, but I enjoyed myself here.